We're just caught up in the churn is all.
I have no idea what you just said.
This boss I used to work for in Baltimore, he called it the churn, when the rules of the game change.
What game?
The only game. Survival.
When I look around today, what I see is upheaval across the board. And I don't just mean politically, I don't just mean globally, I mean in everyday life. Think about your daily interactions at work, at the store, online, even with the people you care about. There's a tension, confusion, fatigue, a kind of low level anger that feels like it's always humming in the background. And if you felt that, if you sensed that something just isn't right, I want to start by saying this. You're not imagining it. We're living in a moment where trust in institutions is eroding. Trust in each other is fraying. More and more people are being driven by emotions they don't fully understand, often convinced they're morally justified while doing real damage. This has escalated into social breakdown, into people checking out completely, into others lashing out, sometimes violently. And this isn't about Democrats versus Republicans. It's not about race or gender or any single ideology. It's about something deeper. Things feel broken not because people are evil, but because many of us have lost our bearings. The pace of change has outstripped our ability to adapt. Technology has evolved faster than culture. Information moves faster than wisdom. Moral certainty has replaced curiosity. We're reacting instead of thinking, aligning instead of understanding. One writer described moments like this as the churn, a period where everything is in motion, nothing feels stable, and survival depends on keeping your head above the debris. That's where we are. Imagine starting a new job. You're professional, respectful, you do your work, and yet almost immediately you're treated as if you've already been judged, not because of something you did, but because of what you represent in someone else's mental framework. Conversations feel loaded. Innocent remarks feel like tests. You realize you're navigating rules that were never explained and can be enforced retroactively. Intent no longer matters, only perception does. If you feel uneasy, frustrated, or alienated, but you don't want to become bitter or tribal, there's nothing wrong with you. You're responding rationally to an irrational environment. I'm not saying everything is doomed. I'm not saying one group is to blame. And I'm definitely not saying you should disengage from reality. What I am saying is that clarity matters and honest conversation matters. Geodialectics exists to ask better questions, not to tell you what to think, but to help us think more clearly together. This channel is not about rage. It's not about tearing people down. And it's not about ideological loyalty tests. It's about coherence and responsibility and finding meaning without denying reality. If you're here in earnest, if you're trying to understand what's happening and how to live well inside it, you're welcome here. Responsible hope isn't pretending everything will be fine. It's choosing not to surrender your agency to outrage, despair, or tribalism. It starts by focusing more on what's right about you than what's wrong. Yes, we all need to work on ourselves, but don't let self criticism become self erasure. Strength comes from building on what works. Geodialectics is about the world and our place in it. Public discussion, honest inquiry. If this resonates with you, I invite you to stay, and we'll take this one conversation at a time.